Well, everybody's a little bit sad, isn't it? 'Cause it's the final race of the day. The Equipe Libres are getting themselves geared up and ready to go. Another 30 more, it might be 25 minutes. We're not too sure at the minute. We've had a few delays today, haven't we? Let's grab a quick chat with Mike Whitaker, the man on pole position. And Mike, every time I look around, there's just monstrous cars everywhere. Tell us about this and how you came to be behind the wheel of it.
1965 TVR Griffith. I bought it about 2006. Had it restored by a TVR expert at the time, and I've raced it since something like 2008, 2009. Weighs about half as much as a BMW 2 Series, and it's got like 450 horsepower and drum brakes.
Wow.
So it's really interesting to drive.
Not just interesting, you're also pretty handy behind the wheel too, aren't you? On pole position for this one. You can convert this, right?
I will be doing my very best. It's a long way, as you've said today a few times in the races, you know, it's a long way from the start to the finish. Yeah. TT's on this week. All the TT guys are like, no, there's no prizes for qualifying, you know, it's
true.
The race. But yeah, we'll be giving it a really good go. I know most of the people around me, so we always give each other a little bit of space, but a bit of a hard time on the track, so it should be great.
We've noticed that today. The racing has been very respectful, hasn't it, across the board, but still intense.
Yeah, I mean, we're all trying. I mean, you get the first third of this grid is people trying to win it, and there's some great cars out, run by great preparers. So yeah, it's serious stuff. I had somebody come and watch me from work a few years ago, and they were like, "Oh, you actually really race?" You know, it's sort of. I think he thought we sort of drove around and waved at each other.
An exhibition. Oh no.
Yeah. He had a Porsche GT3, so I think he thought, like, you know, you've got to have a modern car to be quick. I think he really appreciated just sliding these old girls around. Actually, it's good fun.
Top man. Well, look, thanks for talking to us. Really appreciate it. Best of luck out there as well. There's your man who starts on pole position. Should we see if we can grab a quick chat with Bruce as well in one of the Lotuses as well? What a day it's been for these cars. And Bruce, what a day it's been for you. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been cracking, yeah. I mean, what the boys at Equipe have played on is just incredible. You know, this is proper classic racing with proper people. You know, it's been brilliant. And the land race was amazing.
Oh, it was actually quite emotional, wasn't it? Certainly when we lined the cars up in the pits, all 33 of them there, it was quite remarkable.
Yeah, no, it was you know, it was excellent. Unfortunately, we were up. I think we were 6th or 7th, and we had a coil break, so we never finished. But yeah, no, it was fantastic. I mean, just brilliant event, absolutely brilliant event.
It's actually almost that type of race, though. I know you want to finish as far up, but nobody really loses in that today. You know, it's part of being something historic. I don't think we realise how big it's going to be until we look back in a few years. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's probably the first and the last time that you're going to see that many Elans on a grid. You never know, but you know, it was a 60th anniversary, but it was fantastic. Yeah. They've done a fantastic job.
But into this race right now, because you've got 30 minutes or maybe 25. I don't know. You might know actually better than me. What are we going to do from here?
Well, the Griff will disappear, I think, but we've got a few Elans around us, so I think we're going to have a good battle. Hopefully, we'll keep the Cobra back. I mean, with the Elan, it's all about braking. We can have all these guys into the corners, but we do need to come out. Fair enough, because as soon as you get on the straights, 400 horsepower against 180, there's no comparison. But as a rule, the Elan, you know, a quick Elan will give a Cobra a run for its money.
Look, thank you so much. Thanks for talking to us, Bruce. It's a pleasure having you here this weekend. Really do appreciate it. Let's move down a little bit. Let's have a chat to the Cobra as well, because look at, I mean, these cars are just insane. Now, I always remember from these playing on the computer games, you know, taking a car like this out, and they were always really difficult to handle, and there was a lot of sideways going on. What are we expecting from you?
Lots of sideways, but whether it's on purpose or not is another thing.
Look, you're at the sharp end here, so you can do some work here, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have great fun, I think. I feel like a bumblebee with lots of wasps.
I better let you go. Thank you so much. As you can probably hear, the 30-second board is about to go up, so the final race of the day here for the Equipe Classic Summer Festival about to get underway. It is the Equipe Libre. Give you more information about that very shortly. Let's watch these cars go out, then we'll bring you the grids, and whilst we get ourselves into position for commentary, listen to this. Turn the volume up if you haven't done it already. Oh my word, it's time, almost time to go racing. Well, we're back in position, everybody, for the final race of the day, the Equipe Libres. We just heard from drivers. You're just seeing the grid order at the minute. Of course, Mike Whitaker, we just heard from him, the man on pole position. Simon Evans in second, and Bruce White in third, then Nick Powell in fourth, then Graham Moss, Darren Edwards, John Tordoff, we've got Baxter Mansell car in eighth, Andrew Jameson, Jack Wilmot, David Methley, Matthew Heim, Jamie Boots, Andrew Cahill, Frederick Lawrence, Robert Cole in this race. He's had a busy day. It's his third race of the day already. Paul Keneally, Rick Wilmot, Doug Muirhead, he's just been out as well, Gerard Buggy, Matt Holborn, Neil Fisher, Joel Hopgood, Roddy Fielding, Richard Hyle Evans, Larry Tucker, John Hughes, Oliver Chatham, Guy Parry Williams, Ivan Hayward, Bruce Duckworth, Florian Brandt, Rick Turner, Mark Gordon, Jan Bitterham. I spoke to Jan a little bit earlier actually. It says Can, but it's actually pronounced Jan, so there you go. Noel Leonard, Patrick Martin, James Marsden, James McBride, Paddy Reid, John Pearson, and Adrian Block. 42 runners and riders. I'm not so sure if John is actually in this race because I did see him walking around the front end of the grid just before the cars went out, so I'm not so sure. John, if you are, John, apologies. We will have a look at that for you. Cracking racing throughout the course of the day. This is the seventh and final race we are bringing you here this weekend. There is more action taking place tomorrow here at Silverstone with Equipe Classic Racing, but we're only filming the action today. It was really the main event, of course, was that wonderful Elan 26R 60th anniversary race, the 1 hour race we brought you a little bit earlier, but so now it's time for the Equipe Libres. And very sad indeed. The Equipe Libre open to any pre-1966 race car under FIA Appendix K regulations, running on Dunlop historic CR65L section tyres. The format owns a wide variety of pre-1966 cars, the opportunity to enjoy the close racing and paddock camaraderie that Equipe is certainly known for. Cars range from Cobras to Mini Coopers, Lotus Elan, Ginetta, Mustangs, Cortinas, many others, as well as we've already seen just there permitted, as well as cars from Equipe GTS. The pre-63 and 50s can race in this one as well, hence the reason why you will have already heard a lot of the names that we said in the grid have raced in the GTS a little bit earlier, raced in the pre-63 and 50s, and of course we had a chat with a couple who have raced in that Lotus Elan race earlier today as well. So certainly bang for your buck, isn't there, racing with Equipe today. As I said, Rob Cole, this is his third race of the day already, unbelievable. And they're not short races, they're not like 15-20 minute sprinters either, they're half hour minimum, and of course Rob was in that hour race driving solo too.
I mean, it's incredible. This is the thing though, why wouldn't you? It's what you love. It's what you come down for. It's what you get involved for as well. You know, it's a great event. Equipe do a fantastic job of making sure that everybody tries and get as much track time as they possibly can. They open it up as best they can to as many drivers and as many cars to make everything as eligible. And like we were just saying, you can if you've got a pre-50s, a pre-63 or a GTS, any of those categories, you can race in the Libre. And just to give one last extra push, it's always the last one of the day though, isn't it? That's the one you got to look out for.
Jack, you were right. This race is 25 minutes.
Oh, when am I wrong?
It has been shortened by 5 minutes. We had numerous delays throughout the day. We should have finished actually by now. The last race was due to finish at 10 to 6, I think so. Hence the reason why this race has just been cut by 5 minutes. So a 25-minute race coming up for the Equipe Libre, final race of the day here at Silverstone. More action coming up tomorrow. It's not live streamed tomorrow though, so if you do want to watch the MG Cup are back out tomorrow. In fact, all of these guys are back out tomorrow. You will have to come down to Silverstone yourself, or just follow the action on TSL. But yeah. There we go. Don't forget to keep us entertained on the YouTube channel as well, Equipe Classic Racing. If you're watching on now, I know a number of you are, please do hit that subscribe button. If you're watching it live spot now on YouTube, do the same as well. Hit like and get in touch with us. A lot of you have been commenting throughout the course of the day, so thank you very much. We're also live on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn as well. So thank you to you all for tuning in, but don't disappear just yet, because we have one last dance for you, the Equipe Libres. And I'll tell you what, if you like your cars, doesn't matter what period, doesn't matter what style, doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter what manufacturer, this race is for you. And it sounds like we're underway. First time I actually can hear them off the line without actually having to look at the screen as well. 25 minutes of action for the Equipe Libre is underway. Blue smoke, tyre squealings, and they are go, Jack.
Yeah, it's a big grid to get in the way, isn't it? A lot of drivers in there will have to be slightly careful not to spin out or fall over each other. There'll be looks like everybody's fairly clean. A bit of a slow car right at the end there, but yeah. To be fair, I think I've been reasonably impressed with the cleanliness of the drivers, especially going through turn 1, lap 1 and all that sort of thing. We know that the races are slightly longer, you know, half an hour is quite a long time to, especially when it's hot. I just went in my car there to get the jelly babies that we're eating, and
don't tell everyone.
And all of a sudden I was like, I opened the door and I thought, oh god, that's going to be uncomfortable when I walk home, when I drive home, sorry. And in the cars, I guarantee you, it's about 15-20 degrees hotter. So even though it's cooling down, the sun's slightly getting lower and stuff like that, trust me, these guys will have been working very hard, especially those drivers who have done 2 or 3 races. They'll be sweating, they'll have had to hydrate, they'll have had to get food on board as well. It's a long day. Everybody thinks that racing is easy, you just sit down. It's absolutely not. It's in fact quite the opposite. You burn an awful lot of calories doing this sport because it's a lot of mental, and trust me, it's more physical than you think as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Mike Whitaker's got a great start, hasn't he? Sort of unsurprisingly, we kind of expected that in that TVR Griffith there. We spoke to a few of the drivers and yeah, okay, let's race for a second here. But you never know, anything can happen in motorsport. You see on your screen now, across the wing, it's going to be a hive of activity in a few weeks when the crew rolls into town, isn't it? It seems to look a little bit different to how it does today, although the grandstand behind us is still half full now. It's not actually full, but it's half full. There's still enough people sticking around, and rightly so, because actually the Equipe Libre is one of the races I've been looking forward to the most today.
Yeah, because as I said, it encompasses all the great racing that we've had. I mean, the GTS was brilliant. The Elan was fantastic. And yeah, as I said, we're mixing a lot of them together right now, so why wouldn't you want to stick around?
Well, what a start Graham Moss has had. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jack. Graham Moss has had a great start. He's jumped up from 5th into 2nd place. Whitaker is leading, but listen to the roar. I'm just going to go quiet for a second. Listen to the rumble and the roar of these cars. I'm going to come back because there's a lot of blue smoke coming out of Rob Cole's Lotus there, the Elan. Of course, that's had a heavy day, has the Elan. Took part in that hour race a little bit earlier too. He's back in it now for this one. Smoke coming out the back of it. But let's hope everything is okay with that one. Is that Adrian Block coming through there in that Ford Galaxy 500 block in the 163? I mean, I've seen cruise liners smaller than that.
I know. It's pretty large, isn't it? It's a bit ridiculous. I mean, if we needed a recovery vehicle, couldn't we just send that on the circuit and stick it in the boot?
That could tow every car here. It sounds like somebody's gone off, and we've got a spinner, as you can see. It is number 66 who's come off. That's Darren Edwards. So Darren Edwards having a bit of... That's a shame for him, actually, because he started in 6th place. Good qualifying for him. He's back on, of course, but spinner there for Darren Edwards.
I'm just trying to find where Darren Edwards is. We've had Cull into the pits.
He started sixth,
but he's not there anymore. We have Cull into the pits, though. He was one of the drivers you mentioned.
He was smoking.
He's in the pits now.
I was smoking. And don't take a risk. If there's any doubt, get in the pits.
Especially if you're racing tomorrow as well. So, that's a big shame, isn't it, actually? Anybody been stricken? Well, we haven't had Powell come through. We haven't had Baxter or Mansell, Jameson, Buggy or Pearson, so that makes it sound like there's been quite a few fatalities in terms of finishing this race, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I don't think Pearson started. I don't think Buggy started either. I think a few of those didn't actually start the race. I saw John Pearson, as I said before, I saw him actually in the front of assembly areas. The cars were just starting to go out, so I don't think he's actually started the race, John Pearson.
I suppose if you've already done a few races and this was a bit of a bonus one, the cars may be broken earlier in the day or something like that.
Well, John's responsible for largely responsible for the organisation of all of the races. So he's got quite a lot on his plate.
Yeah,
we'll let him off. We'll let him have a race off.
Yeah, that's a bit of a headache, isn't it, if something's going wrong? And obviously, to be fair, I think apart from, there's been a few safety cars, but that's motorsport, it happens. Obviously, we've been delayed quite substantially, but I think it's been a fairly clean and pretty good day. Is this the race
This is
leader?
Whitaker, so Whitaker
big gap
in the Griffith now, starting to get a little bit of a lead. Things have changed a little bit though, because the 777 cars come through. That's David Methley. He's had as well, by the way. Just dropping Graham Moss down a position. Listen to the roar. I love that 169 car as well. A thing of absolute beauty, isn't it? Not too sure I can see where it is actually, the 169.
Wonder if the transponder. Oh, it's Holm. It's in 8th place.
Oh, that's right. We're looking at the wrong. Yeah, in the
Chevrolet,
Corvette, of course. A thing of absolute beauty. It really is. When it comes down the rumble, I almost feel my knees start to shake when it comes past me here. How long have we got? We've got just under 20 minutes of this race to go. Long way to go. There's the 66 car who had the spin a little bit earlier. That was Darren Edwards dropping him down, but he's back on, as you can see, and right in the mid-pack here, going toe to toe with a number of his fellow drivers.
Bit of a shame we don't have more minis, to be honest. I always love watching the little minis fight with the big V8s, and
it's my favourite car.
Yeah, it's a bit of a barge, isn't it? It's massive, but equally, like, you got to wonder if anybody's watching it out there thinking, well, he's not even racing or anything like that. But yeah, imagine just driving around Silverstone in the sun in your favourite car. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Still racing.
Still racing. It's still out there.
Absolutely.
It's beating people who aren't finishing.
Exactly that. It's already made up a few places. So,
yeah, exactly.
We're just starting, so good stuff there. We've got 19 minutes of this race, the final race of the day for the Equipe Classic. The Equipe Summer Classic is the official title of the Equipe Summer Classic. What a day it has been. The biggest event that Equipe Classic Racing have ever put on. If you do want to find out more about Equipe Classic Racing, you can. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. Wherever you're watching this, give it a click. Take you straight through to the Equipe Classic Racing website, but don't do it for 20 minutes. Or
at least open a new tab.
Or open a new tab. Otherwise, it will suddenly watch all the viewers just disappear.
Yeah.
Stay with us for this one, because I've been very much looking forward to this one, and already it's been action-packed and sharp-ended. Although Whittaker has got a solid lead already, what was it, 4.5 seconds over the line last time. That's just getting bigger and bigger. When it does behind them, it's all action. David Methley from 11th on the grid into second place. We're still in the early stages of this race. Remember, it was juiced from 30 down to 25 minutes. Here is your race leader, Whittaker, now just coming through as expected in that TVR Griffith just to run away. Of course, again, there actually is David Methley. I wonder if the gap's closing down a little bit. Maybe Graham Moss just behind him as well. And after that, we have White. And there is that 169. Oh, look at it. It's just
doing well to hustle it around so quickly, actually, I think, because it does look like a little bit hard work getting it through the corners.
Yeah, I bet it's lightning. Oh, 84 goes straight on. It's okay. I wonder if that's a bit of a brake issue. The 84 looks like an E-type, doesn't it? Is it the 84?
Waiting to get that smoke to hit us.
It is, yeah. That's Wilmot.
Yeah.
Wilmot in the E-type. What a shame that is. Going straight on. I wonder if he's going to come into the pits. I wonder if it just maybe he carried a bit too much speed, got a bit hot on it, missed his braking zone. Must have missed it by a fair few yards though to be steaming on that.
He's missed that a long way. He's locked up as well, panicked and not come off the brakes either. So bit of a mistake, a bit of a heart-stopping moment for us as well. And it was quite nice for him to do it straight in front of the camera. Gave you all at home something to watch. And
if people are going to spin, if you could do it in front of our camera, that'd be great.
That'd be polite, wouldn't it?
It would be polite. Yeah.
This is a great little battle though between the sort of lower end of the field. It's got the 172, I think, involved in it.
Here comes Block. Just listen to it.
You're just waiting, aren't you? Every single time.
That boot is bigger than my house.
I wouldn't put it past.
Well,
I think if he crashes it, it'd probably cost more.
It's American, isn't it? The trunk.
Yeah.
The trunk is bigger than my house.
If he crashes it, it'd probably be worth more than my house as well. At the back end of the field, I was saying about the 173, 175 sort of area. I think it's about 28th place. They're all MGB Roadsters, and we've already seen them once today. They put on a hell of a show. They're putting on one hell of a show as well, even though we may obviously focus towards the sharp end. We favour the fights that are at the top end of the order, but we always like to sort of cast our eyes back, and a lot further back, to capture Ian's favourite car there.
Well, we've seen a lot of MGBs today, haven't we, in that BCB8 race, in the GTS race, and now in this one as well, with good reason as well. They make for
oh yeah,
they're cracking cars. They are still quite, dare I say, relatively easy to get. They're classic cars, but relatively easy to get on. Here comes Whittaker now, your race leader, comfortably out in front there. This was sort of expected. There he goes, Whittaker in the TVR Griffith there. And Jack, I think I interrupted you from saying something.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the things that surprised me about the Elan race, actually, having not been involved in the world as strongly as obviously a lot of the other people are that we were speaking to and educating us, is how readily available the parts are for cars that were made in the 60s. And I think that's the case of a lot of sort of classic cars these days. The people are taking care of them more and more, and therefore parts are being made for them again, and the old blueprints are being pulled out from the back of the cupboards, and they're being manufactured, which is great.
Well, it helps, doesn't it, with specialists like Tony Thompson, who specialises in the Lotus Land House. Just a note that John Tordoff and Jack Wilmot having a really cracking little battle as well, just behind the leading group there, so that's well worth keeping an eye on for the rest of this race. And Darren Edwards going through, he had a spin earlier, it's not slowed him down. The way he tacked the corner just there, he's still going for this, he's trying to make up for lost time.
We actually spoke to Tordoff in that Ilan race earlier on, and he was saying about how much he enjoyed it, how much he loved it. It was a great day, all this sort of thing. Didn't realise he was actually back out here, so he was actually part of a two-driver team. So he's obviously dibs the car, and he's decided he's going to go out for another race.
So we have got 14 minutes left of the final race of the day. Yeah, it is proving to be an exciting one, although Mike Whittaker right at the sharp end. Mike Whittaker is kind of running away with it a little bit, isn't he? He's got a healthy lead in first place, but there's still action going on behind. In fact, Whittaker's fastest lap, 2:27.832. It's only 0.4 of a second faster than Meffley's fastest lap, though, so it's not lightning fast. Here comes he's lightning fast at the sharp end, of course, Adrian Block, but he's not lightning ahead of everybody else, is what I'm trying to say. Is Block, can you hear it rumble as it goes through? Just listen to the noise as it goes through. I just want that car.
When it rolls, I'd be surprised if he's not lying across the front of his car, to be honest. It's
an aerodynamical nightmare, isn't it? But who cares? I mean, the hole in the air that will be punching is insane.
I bet he was everybody's favourite friend when they were qualifying. Everybody wanted to be behind them on the slipstream down the Wellington Straight. Anyway, in fact, there it is again. You're right. The fight, the sort of closest battle that we got out on the circuit in the sharp end, anyway, is probably that with Tordoff Wilmot.
Whittaker now is actually catching up to Block pretty quick, isn't he already? And I'll tell you something though. There is Metheny.
Yeah, he's doing well.
This gap, it might be coming down. I don't think that doesn't look like 6 seconds to me.
It's either stagnated or they're extending from third place anyway, and the rest of the field, the top sort of 6, have absolutely just pile drive their way ahead of everybody. In fact, top 5, sorry. We've got Holm coming past us now. There he is.
Oh, listen to it. Oh.
Yeah, it's great in the Chevy, the Corvette, and that's sort of where the battles start to begin.
600 Tordoff. That bonnet has got damage.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've just seen that, because he was having a good battle there with Wilmot and he's dropped back a little bit. Something has happened out on track. I'm not quite sure what, but it looks like Tordoff has had a bit of a bump somewhere with someone or something.
Massive drift moment there for the Corvette. That's not Corvette, sorry, the Mustang.
We've got another country as well.
Oh hey, take them off. What is it?
We've got checkered flag. We're not quite sure what's happened here, but we've got checkered flag for some reason. We've still got 11.5 minutes and the checkered flag is out. We're not sure why. We've got no idea what's happened. Checkered flag has out. So we're really sorry, everybody. That's caught us completely by surprise. It's caught TSL by surprise. And I'm not too sure. We're not too sure what's happened here, because there's still 11 minutes left on the clock, just over 11 minutes. I'm not so sure the drivers are aware it's the last lap either. Oh, and the reason is the curfew is 6 o'clock here, so we're actually 15 minutes running over curfew. So, well, that's a shock, Jack. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm not prepared for that. I'm ready for another 11 minutes of racing.
Whittaker wins. They're going to make it dramatic.
That is the checkered flag, and we've run over curfew by 15 minutes, so somebody might be in trouble. I just want to say another country tuning in, and one who might surprise you. We've got Mr. Holmes tuning in from Iraq. So, thank you very much, Mr. Holmes.
Well, next time we need a bigger map or something. We need to tick these things off, I tell you. Because it's great to have so much interaction. This is a fantastic thing about live streaming as well, isn't it? I mean, you get so much interaction from all over the world. If we weren't live streaming it today, half of these people might not have been, well, nobody would have been able to watch it. Half of them may not have even known it's on.
Only the people here in the grandstand. So thank you everybody for tuning in as well.
And I will say very quickly before we get going, a big thank you for Ian to do it, and we're actually going to go around to the front to see this programme off properly. We'll be back in about 20 seconds time.